In case you missed it, Valve dropped an update today that fixed the Michael Jackson peak finally, along with a few other things, so hopefully for now there isn't any more weird stupid bugs like that. But anyways, when the game is working, I get a lot of players asking me which good looking cheap skins they should buy. Now I can't lie, I like a lot of skins, but today I want to highlight 10 of them that you can pick up for under 20 bucks USD that, at least in my opinion, look great. Like I either had these or would pick them up if I didn't drop loads of money on these skins instead. Before I get into them, let me give a shout out to today's video sponsor SkinsMonkey, which you could also use to help get some of these skins. SkinsMonkey is hands down one of the best bot trading sites you can use with CSGO skins. Say you want to upgrade some of your current skins, this would be the perfect site to do it with. You can also straight up buy skins too, and with their 35% deposit bonus plus my code, it gives anyone quite a nice balance to work with. There's even free giveaways and rewards for completing simple tasks on the site to help you get even more skins. Get $5 for free now with my link in the description below. Alright, with that out of the way, like I said in the intro, all of the skins I'm going to talk about are going to be about $20 or under each. Now that's not guaranteed like factory new wear or anything. The wares will differ depending on the price, or at least depending on how much that you want to spend. But I can comfortably say that all of these skins, even if you get like a field tested or well-worn float, they're honestly still going to look pretty decent. Now I first want to start off with the skins that I personally have in my inventory and some that I actually even do run right now. And that first one's going to be the MP9 Starlight Protector. I don't know why it's showing up so dark in the little preview here, but if I inspect this in game, you can see how amazing, like reflective and cool this thing looks. Like this thing by far is one of the best MP9 skins in the game, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna be saying that so much throughout this video. It definitely looks weirdly dark right there on the menu inspect, but if we take this thing in game, you can really see how freaking cool this thing looks. Like I don't get why the front of it's a little bit like almost dark grayish looking depending on where you are in the map lighting, but like you can't tell me that this thing looks bad other than that maybe. Like this thing is really clean. The next one that I want to highlight is the MAG7 Justice, and I know it's a MAG7, some people are probably not going to care much about this skin, but take a look at how insanely cool this thing looks in CS2. It's a little bit reflective, I think. Yep, there we go. Oh my god, that's crazy. But because of that, at least in my opinion, it just looks so cool, and that blue and yellow color scheme, or that like blue and gold color scheme to go with it, also just pops so much. Here it is in game. I mean, it doesn't look as crazy as it does in the inspect, and go figure the warm-up's blocking it. Hold up. But if we get rid of that, you can see this thing just looks outstanding for a MAG7 skin. It's so good. Now that I'm gonna follow with the MAG10 Discotheque. I've personally been running this skin for a really long time, and I know it's not that expensive, but I can't lie, this is still one of my favorite skins to date in Counter-Strike just because of that pearlescent effect. Like, look how insane the color changing is on this skin. It's so cool. In game, it looks absolutely amazing. When you inspect it, you can see the colors moving around and everything, but I will say right now it's a little bugged in CS2 to the point where when you do move around holding it normally like I am right now, the colors are always the same. So if somehow someone from Valve sees this video, that's a bug we need to fix. Now, those are the ones I have in my inventory right now, and for the next 7, I'm unfortunately not gonna go out and just buy them because, you know, I gotta afford food and Rank Cali's expensive. But don't worry, I'm still gonna show you guys what the in-game inspect. Keep in mind, while I would use like Epidemic Skin Inspect servers, for example, every time an update releases, just like I was talking about at the beginning of the video, those servers go down for at least 10 to 12 hours normally. And because I don't want to wait that long to get this video out, well, I guess it's gonna be a bit more ass than normal. Finally, moving on to the 4th skin that I want to talk about, that's gonna be the USPS Trader. And it's a skin I know people are probably definitely familiar with. This one's pretty popular already, but I have to highlight it because again, CS2 just makes it look so much better than it did in Go. And while it doesn't reflect like crazy like the MAG7 did, for example, between the red colors and then those bright gold and yellow colors, I think this thing is awesome. Moving on to the next one, the MP7 Fade, I have to highlight a Fade skin. Fade skins in CS2 look so much better than they ever did in CSGO. And it's not a super like crazy reflective skin. You do still get some of that on there, which is kind of cool. It just looks absolutely insane. If you can find a pretty good Fade percent, like this is a 96.2, I believe, and this thing honestly looks pretty good. Even if you were to get one with a lower percent Fade, like this is an 81.1, for example, it still looks kind of decent, and in fact doesn't have any of that blue or like dark purple on it. So maybe some people will like this because it's brighter, but normally, regardless of which Fade percentage you're going after, you can find these again for under 20 bucks, depending on what marketplace sites have available at the time. Moving on to the Famas next, I feel like this is honestly one of those weapons in CS that not a lot of newer players use. This thing's goated. If you don't use this, you need to try this when you need a budget rifle. But look how amazing, again, CS2 makes this skin look, mainly because it's all gold. All the gold skins just look so much better in this game. You might expect it to be really glossy or crazy reflective because it is gold, but it's not. It's actually surprisingly more matte, and I kind of like that because you can see more of the skin, especially when you're playing in game. But even for minimal wear, a 0.12 float, I think this one is, this thing looks amazingly clean. Following that with another minimal wear skin, which is honestly not bad for under 20 bucks. This is another pretty popular budget AK right now, and it's definitely a more complex detailed skin. Like if you like like simple, you're probably not gonna like this one as much. But the artwork on this pops so much more than it did in CSGO, and you can really see all the fine detail, especially like the darker blue colors on the mag, for example. All around, this AK skin looks absolutely insane, and there's so much to it, which makes it super cool. But in my opinion, definitely one of the better budget AK options out there, especially considering it's one of those red skins that somehow has managed to stay on the cheap side. If you're an M4A4 user, you're gonna like this one, especially if you haven't seen this skin before. This is the M4A4 Desolate Space. This is actually a skin I really wanted when I first started playing the game, and it was too expensive for me to buy. But this is minimal wear for only about 12 bucks USD, again, depending on the marketplace you buy it from, and it is amazingly clean. Again, with the trend of CSGO skins looking way better in CS2, all of the darker colors and all the darker designs that you couldn't see in the game before, you can now see really well. And especially those like blue lightning bolts towards the back of the gun, the laser, whatever that is. God, that looks really good. If you're an M4A1S user though, or if you're newer to the game, you're probably using this one, let's be real. This is the M4A1S M4 asaurus. Also one of the newer skins on this list, and surprisingly really cheap for a factory new skin, especially one with this much detail that looks this good. One of the coolest things I find about this skin is the fact that the claws, the dino claws coming through, ripping through the gun, and even the dino itself, they look 3D the way that it was put on there. I don't even know how to describe this. I am not smart at all, but you can't tell me that doesn't look insane. Not to mention the green and yellow color scheme pops quite a bit. Lastly on the list, we've got the chromatic aberration. And honestly, this is a skin I'm not really sure why I haven't picked one of these up yet. I absolutely love this thing. But if you get it in field tested like this one is, this is a 0.26 float, for example. It's surprisingly clean. It's not super dark. There's very little scuffing on it. And I love the trippy effect it gives with like on the barrel and on the stock of the gun, kind of that like 3D effect, I guess is what you would call it. It reminds me of like going to see a 3D movie in the movie theaters and like taking the glasses off and looking at the screen. It looks like that. But yeah, out of the cheap ops there are out there that you can purchase, this is by far probably my favorite. Anyways, that's about gonna wrap it up for this video. Those are definitely probably the first 10 budget skins I would go after, especially if I was brand new to CS2. So if you're in that market or if you're in that place, definitely at least consider those because I think they're pretty awesome. With all that said though, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, drop a like and subscribe if you're new. And now whatever video YouTube's showing on your screen, the algorithm thinks you'd like. So do me a favor and go check it out.